Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. So, tonight, Cancer, we have the Five of Swords. I know, not our favorite card, right? This has to do with defeat, you know? But worry not. That doesn't mean that you are being defeated necessarily. It doesn't mean that you have lost in a situation, although it could be, right? These cards, every reading I pull one card. Okay, and it brings in kind of an energy, something for us to look for, something for us to be aware of, right? There's just kind of a different atmosphere with each archetype. Now, sometimes it is about us, but not always. Sometimes it's people that we are close to. Sometimes it's old, ancient history, and something just brought it up. Maybe it's an anniversary, maybe you ran into somebody and it brought up old stuff. Now, it could be in the future as well. Okay? So we're going to go ahead. We're going to spin this bowl. It's really a bowl. It's a teacup, right? It's a bowl. And then we knock 3 times. Okay? And we're going to flip it over. We're going to see what the tea leaves have to say. And I also want to just take a moment here to say thank you so much for deciding to click on this reading, to check it out. If you are new to the channel, welcome. It's so nice to meet you. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Welcome home. I'm so happy to see you again. All right, so we seem to have kind of this motif of birds and nesting. I want to look right here first. We have a nest right here, okay? But we also have the nest. It goes from being this kind of almost like an empty nest, right? It kind of looks almost like a butterfly too. But this nest that has been put together has been worked on, right? Intentionally, building the home, the abode, so that one might grow their life, right? Grow their life, grow their family. It doesn't have to be spot on, like, it's a nest, so this has to do with the home. It's about growing a family, having a partner and the little egg, and you sit on it and wait for it to hatch. Okay, yeah. It could be on the nose like that, but oftentimes it is a symbol, so it is symbolic, right? So I feel like this is very much about getting things together in a way that makes sense to you, okay? Building that place, maybe it is the home. Maybe it is like an office or a space to create within, a little laboratory, if you will, a studio, whatever it is, okay? So I think you are really focused on getting ready for the cycle of creation. Now, as I turn it, you can see the same thing. It looks like we have a bird. Now, here's the head coming out of the nest. That's right. So, whatever it is that you are getting ready to work on, or you've been kind of thinking like, oh, I'd really like to do that someday, or I can't wait to get to that project, or maybe going back to school, or you're changing houses, you're moving, you're downsizing, or maybe looking for something a little bigger for your family, or whatever it is. I see this really coming into the manifest, right? Getting it together and making good use of it. right? Whatever this is, whatever this thing is that you are developing, I see it really getting some traction, okay? And this bird looks big, right? This looks like a big old bird that's really almost ready to leave the nest, honestly, a little fledgling. So I see this thing kind of moving quickly, and I see it really doing better than you even imagined, right? So maybe it is. You are in a situation where you have to move, or you have been wanting to move, and you found a place, and maybe it's not your favorite place in the whole world. Maybe you're a little bit nervous, as we all are when we're moving, right? Or doing something outside of our normal routine, something we've already gotten comfortable doing. And that nervousness, we can talk ourselves into thinking this is going to be the worst, right? Well, I don't think it is actually going to be the worst. I think once you get in there, once you start getting this thing moving from the planning stages into the actual execution of the thing, I feel like it's really going to end up being so much better than you imagined. Okay, so this is your sign from the universe telling you, get to it. Stop putting it off. Stop being so worried about all of the little details of the thing. And I know I'm a Virgo. That made me cringe even just saying that, because I worry about the details of everything. But sometimes we have to stop waiting for the moment to be perfect and just do it. Okay? So we also have in the middle here the Fool. You can see the head, you can see the arm raised, you can see the leg even up, kind of on one foot there. We have a little fish here. It looks like a baby marlin or something. So the fish represents money or resources, okay? Now we also have two people over here. Here's the head of one, the body, and then the head of one and the body, okay? What else do we have going on down here? We have a person holding a bird, so we have a messenger and a message. We also have the number, it looks like 581, 581. We also have memories right here. Okay, so this is very much the mother goddess imagery, okay? This is about sustenance. This is about having that nutrient or that nutritious thing in your life that's like feeding your soul, right? So I really feel like as you are getting into this work, as things are changing, as you are going with the flow of it all, and excited, right? I know you're excited. Nothing gets a Cancer person going like a project or like a new job or, whatever your new favorite thing is, your new obsession, your new fixation, that is the universe for that time. So I feel like as you are really kind of succumbing to this almost obsession, this interest that is just, it's pulled you in, I see you really like in this balanced place. We have this masculine and feminine person over here, and they're in union. They're so very close that there's no way to tell where one ends and the other begins. And so I look at this as like the anima, the animus, the balancing of the aspects of self. Okay, so you are in your power place, right? When you are busy doing something that really holds your interest, nothing feels better. Nothing. So I feel you very balanced. We have the sun up here as well. Clear-eyed, bushy-tailed, right? Really perceiving, really noticing your surroundings. If you're doing like research or, studying in general, looking for further inspirations, I really see all of this instead of distracting you, which is usually my problem, I'm like one of those people, I go on to like Wikipedia and I end up in a, like down the rabbit hole, right? Like 3 hours later, I'm like, wait a second, what was I looking for? I've been reading about, what is it called? Silphium, I think that's what it's called. It is a ancient plant, flower, that the Romans used. It grew, now I can't remember the name of the island, but it's like over by Crete. And anyways, this was a plant that went extinct, okay? It was like revered. They even put it on their money. And they used it for all kinds of stuff. Medicine, for, what's it called? Cologne. What was the other? They ate it. It was really big for their culinary stuff. But anyways, it got overused and it went extinct. So that was my rabbit hole last night. I went down the deep rabbit hole looking into this plant and all of the things surrounding it. And oh my goodness. I don't know about you, but you know what? I'm married to a Cancer, so I have to say, I know that you all get into your research and you can get so distracted, right? And so in this particular kind of rotation of interest, I see you very focused, not getting sidetracked, not getting pulled off of the path, okay? But at the same time, we have the Fool, and it's right at the middle, right in the center, okay? And what does that mean? I don't think it's that you're being foolish. No, I feel like you are allowing yourself to be very open-minded about things. You know, we go into something thinking that I already know about this. I'm just going to kind of go over it to remind myself, or, you know, if I missed anything. Well, in this situation, I feel like you have allowed yourself to just purely let the information come to you. And this might be because this is something you're working on that you have very little experience with. It might be a wholly new kind of work or you know, niche or whatever. But I see you really kind of putting aside any judgments or, you know, things that you have formed in your mind beforehand, and you're allowing yourself to just be in it, to experience it, to learn from the ground up. And I think this is the key. This is the key to making this successful for you, is allowing yourself to look at this in different angles, perspectives, being open to doing things a little bit differently. And now we have the Fish. So I know that as you get further into this work, into this project, I can see you ending up making some money from it. Definitely. You know, and you might be like myself, and I always used to say this, I would never do something I love for work because I wouldn't want to ruin it. Well, now I get to do this, and I see what people mean when they say, if you do what you love, you're never going to work a day in your life. Now, of course, it is a lot of work to run a channel, and this is the fun part, right? Most of it is the behind the scenes stuff. Learning how to process videos and edit them and do all of the stuff online, learning to, you know, honor and devote yourself to the great algorithm and figure out what it likes and what it doesn't, which is ever changing too, by the way. So it is a lot of work, but it's something that is lovely. It's a wonderful thing to be able to do readings. I mean, my goodness, how lucky am I? I see you finding your thing. I see you finding your thing, and I see it really gaining some traction. And you're going to find a way to make some money. Even if it's just like a little side hustle, maybe you learn how to do something that you really love, you enjoy it, it's a hobby, it's a passion, and you know, you meet other people that maybe need some assistance, or you need you to, you know, whatever it is. I don't know. I keep thinking for some reason, I knew this guy that used to make little figurines for like D&D tabletop games, and he, you know, they were handcrafted, and I always thought, my goodness, that's so cool, right? It's artistic. You're doing it for, you know, something that you love, and you can sell them and make money, and they're commissioned, so they're expensive, and they're handmade, so they're expensive, and they're beautiful. They're beautiful. If I saw them on a shelf, I wouldn't necessarily know that they were for a game, right? So, excuse me. It's amazing when you are able to find a way to do the things you love, and also, you know, maybe be able to pay for your hobby, your passion through, monetizing some of it. So anyways, I see that being, you know, something that is definitely obtainable in this next cycle for you. Now, it looks like we have the name Leon. 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 It could be a lion too. Could be Leon. Could be a lion. We have that ever-present mother energy. Really looking out for you right now, Cancer. So we have something here. It's like a... almost like you left something somewhere. Not super important, but something like you left a jacket. A jacket, or maybe like one of your gloves, or, you know, something that's replaceable, but ugh, how annoying. They have to go back and find where I might have left it. But I keep seeing blue as well. And the number 7. Kind of get the impression that this is leading to some kind of ordeal. We have a key, but it's like a door. I keep thinking this is not a door I want to open, but maybe you have to. I don't know why this it's like a series of events, a series of things that happen. And it leads you to finding something out that maybe you didn't want to find out. I feel like it's almost like you're looking for your jacket, and you come in contact with somebody, and you get to talking, and, you know, by accident, something is revealed to you. So I wonder if this is like a friend, a coworker, maybe somebody like close to the family. But I feel like where it is stressful, it's also freeing. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, okay, well, now all this makes sense. You know? And I just keep getting the feeling that this does have to do with like a family member. Like maybe they, maybe they've gone back to like drinking, partying, you know, something like this, right? Where you like run into somebody in the community, and they're like, oh, I saw, you know, whoever up at the VFW or whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a bar. I don't go to bars. I don't drink, so I don't know. Although I'll tell you what, where I live in the upper Midwest, there's so many bars everywhere. Even like in the small town I live next to, tiny town, has like 4 bars. It's wild how many bars there are up here. And I've never been into very few bars in my whole life, unless it was like a restaurant, you know, or they had a show or something. So, you know, I don't know exactly what it is, but it feels like something that you already kind of knew. You had your suspicions, but now it's kind of being confirmed. And I feel like this is something that, it just feels like a letdown. That's the feeling, like just the kind of like, here we go again. Here we go again. That's what I keep hearing. Here we go again. So let's take a look. We have TSI. And we have a llama. We also have a sword. And we have a person who's pointing towards the future. And I immediately get this feeling of sometimes, and I'm sorry if you can hear my tissue. I've been sick and I have to wipe my nose. Sometimes we have to let go of, we have to sacrifice things in our life that feel comfortable but are to our it's to our detriment, right? Like, you don't want people in your life who are going to make you feel less than, or, you know, not good enough, or you don't know what you're doing, or, you know, you don't want that. But you also don't want somebody in your life who's always like telling you, oh, you're the best. No, that's not wrong. They're wrong. You know, it's like blatantly obvious. You're absolutely wrong. And you know you're wrong, yet you have a person telling you you're right, they're wrong. It's just like a yes man, a yes person, I should say. And that's where that llama energy comes from here for me, is that it feels like something or somebody that's almost like a crutch for you, or it has become so. And to go forward and to achieve in the way that you want to, you're gonna need to either have a conversation and say, like, I need you to be real with me. I need honesty here. You don't have to, you know, try to appease my ego all the time, or, you know, make me feel warm and fuzzy about everything all the time. Sometimes I just need you to be real, you know. On the other hand, it could also be that this is just it. Like, you can't deal with this energy right now. And this is maybe a person that you need to separate yourself from for a little while. Because it does verge on kind of an enabler kind of vibe. Although I'm not saying that they're enabling anything you're doing. I don't know what you're doing or if you're doing anything at all. But, you know, having somebody that's always trying to, you know, say what they think you want to hear, it can become toxic in its own way, right? So it wouldn't surprise me if, you know, during this time while you are building up this thing that you've been working on, this business, this new job, this maybe moving or whatever it is, your hobby, I could see where it would be like, I need space in my life. I need things to be like that sun energy, that soul energy. I need it to be illuminated. I need to see what is really here, not what I wish for, or not what somebody might think I want, right? I need to see what's actually here, right? And that's what I can work from. So that's not something that's easy, but at the same time, I'm talking to a Cancer, and I know that you are not afraid to just be straight up, right? You might not love the confrontation or the feeling of having to be confrontational, but you're also not, you ain't no punk, right? You're gonna say what you gotta say. And so this might be one of those moments, right? Now let's do our 3 lucky numbers. So we have 99, 11. We're gonna get a repeater. 85. All right, 99, 11, and 85. I thought we were gonna get like 66 or 33. No. All right, these are our self-care affirmation cards. I'm gonna stop where it feels right. We're just gonna flip it over. Vat of life energy. I am wise with money because it is the vat where I store my life energy. I seek to enjoy the money I spend more than the life energy I put in to gain it. I embrace this virtue of frugality. I embrace this virtue of frugality. All right. I know I need to get on that life, huh? I'm actually I am a frugal person, but that's what happens when you've been poor for many years. I don't know if I'm so much frugal as like, I just have had to learn how to make it work, right? So anyways, let's see, that's it. All right, Cancer. I'm going to tell you I love you because I do. And I thank you for spending this time with me. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. And other than that, I don't know. It's almost the weekend. It's Thursday right now while I'm recording this. And we're getting close to the weekend. It's supposed to be warm where I'm at, so I'm going to be outside. I've been planting my garden. We're going to break ground on that here pretty soon. I'm going to have about 20 by 20 feet to plant this year, plus with other containers and boxes and stuff. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked. I have to tell you, I've been thinking about being in the garden, in the sun out there, my little hat on, a lot lately. I cannot wait. So anyways, tell me all about your gardens. Are you going to be gardening? Have you been gardening? If you're in the southern hemisphere, I suspect you're having one of your harvests at least by now. And so, yeah, I'd love to hear all about it. If you have any recommendations for things to grow, anything that you like to grow in particular, anything that's super yummy. I do kind of the basic stuff. My herbs, though, I do get pretty wild with those ones. I'm excited to be growing a whole bunch of different kinds of mint and stuff like that too this year. So that should be really yummy. Well, anyways, I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk in a few days. Good night. Good night.